What's up, guys? Shitaced Sober coming at you today, Friday. It's fucking payday. Jeff N, 12 years. We got a guest, Mike S. And we got Kyle.
And
bro.
Kyle. Yep, I'm here.
Kyle's got
I'm
a
out
year.
here.
Mike, how much time you got?
Close enough to 2 years to have 2 years.
Nice.
Close enough. What's your sobriety date?
July 17th of 2021.
Damn, I thought we were going to have the same date, dude.
Dude, I'm close.
Mine's...
That's a summer. You're a summertime baby.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, whoever gets... I mean, you must have had a rough 4th of July, bro. You know
Dude,
what I'm
it was
saying?
miserable. Not as bad as Christmas, though, because I'm an eggnog guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had a 2-week-long 4th of July, and I got sober on fucking July 18th, dude.
That's hot. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
And, I still got leftover fireworks, dog. Yeah, dude. All right. Well, thanks for coming on the podcast. You know, you're a professional. You're fucking got a mustache like a champion.
Thank
I love
you.
it, man.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to be in presence of it.
Dude, I'm really, really happy to be here. Thank you, guys.
A lot of newly sober guys. Did you have a mustache before you got sober?
Absolutely not. I don't think that you can have a mustache before you get sober.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I do. I notice a lot of sober guys. They start changing their facial hairs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, we got some questions for you. The first of which, bro, is what does it feel like to be you?
Good question.
Dude, it feels awesome. You know, I was and I still am a practicing attorney. I had the opportunity to come back and work with both my parents at our family business in town here. My mom passed away in March of last year, and you know, I thought that was going to be a huge event in my life, and it turned out that it's kind of a springboard to further my sobriety, and I find myself grateful every single day.
Nice.
I love it, man.
So, what do you feel like right this moment, sitting here? What's the temperature of you?
Hot.
Yeah.
Tight.
Flaming hot.
Yeah.
Tight. I like
I can
that
feel
answer.
the heat.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
hot.
Woo! I need to get some deodorant on.
Yeah.
before I start sweating.
How do you comb that mustache? Do you?
So,
Question.
shout out Viking Revolution, which is my wife bought me this like beard wax.
Oh,
and
you're
it
the-
comes with this tiny little comb. And dude, it's
You spend some time on it.
hours,
Tickles.
days, dude.
It's tickling me. From here.
It tickles everybody. Yeah,
I'm feeling just like moving, dude, like
Dude,
a
I'm-
jellyfish.
I feels you.
I wanna go to the carnival and you're the ride. Dude.
Dude, if I had a quarter for every time I hear that during the day.
You
You'd have a
know?
dollar.
I'm like, dude,
Why
I'm
not?
opening up a shit-faced carnival, dude.
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
it.
I could be an attraction.
Dude, I would buy you tickets, you know?
It's hot.
Or we could raffle it off in a charity auction, dude,
Yeah.
you know? Anyways, so yeah, man, you know, now that you're sober, you're an attorney, you shared with me and us that you're a criminal attorney, which is
Sure.
fucking awesome. I could see so many ways that you're able to, like, you know, share like real empathy and experience with people that are underserved. Like, I feel like a lot of people, when they're out there like using and drinking, they get into a lot of trouble and they feel like nobody understands them once they're, you know, trying to get, you know, better. You know, the justice system's catching up. You got judges and drug court and meetings and a lot of resources to help people. We're learning that the treatment for addiction or alcoholism and crime, the combo, is not incarceration and punishment. It's treatment and empathy and, you know, given a second chance.
Sure.
And like, I think you're really getting geared up to serve.
Dude, I lived it too. I was on January 14th of 2021. I was arrested at the Flying J on 206 for buying Adderall from one of my clients.
Oh, that's
So,
epic, man.
That's a tight
It,
story, dude.
Dude, it was, you know, it's funny now, you know, after, you know, going through what I've been through in recovery. But dude, it was so bad at the time.
Yeah.
And
And you had no idea, obviously. This guy
I
set you up.
I had no idea. And you know, I will tell you, everything in my life at that point was bad. I thought everything, I had all these wonderful opportunities, clients. I was prescribed Adderall, but of course that wasn't good enough. I had everything going in the world and everything was miserable. And now I'm a fucking air conditioning man and I could not be any happier. And you know, the opportunities that have presented themselves from my sobriety and from nothing else, there's a guy, his name's escaping me right now, that won the Honda Classic last week, the golf tournament. And they're like, you know, who would you like to thank? And the only thing he says is, I'd like to thank my sobriety.
Oh, that's
if
awesome.
it wasn't for my sobriety, I wouldn't be here right now.
Dude, that's
Yeah,
gangster.
I feel
And
that.
so it's just one of those things, and I never heard it before. So, you know, I try to, when I have the opportunity, yes, I'm thankful for my wife. I'm thankful for my kids. I'm thankful for my dad and our business and the opportunity to be an attorney. But, anything you put in front of your sobriety, you'll lose.
Are you the type of person too that you're very vocal about your sobriety, like in a common place, like around people that may or may not be sober? Because for me, I live and breathe it, you know what I mean? And I'm even people that have no idea I'm in recovery. I'm like, I just hit a year, and they're like,
the Dollar General
congratulations,
lady,
you know?
like we're buying candy, and he's like, I'm sober 1 year.
Yeah.
Are you having a good day? Yeah, I'm sober.
1 year.
It's not what I asked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really am. I wasn't at the beginning. As a matter of fact, when I first got sober, I wasn't sober. I
Right.
was just as fucked up at that point as I ever was. I was just holding on. I had a sponsor, and I was just holding on to the ledge of sobriety and depending on other people that I had met in the Alcoholics Anonymous community to try to stay sober. And at one point, it was all to get back to drinking. I thought
yeah.
I was going to go through it and just escape. And then, it became, as my sobriety's gone on, I share it. I share,
That's awesome.
how it's changed my life.
And, just like so the audience knows, like it takes a lot of courage for somebody in like a small community or in a professional setting, like a lawyer, judge, doctor, business owner, anybody to come and be public sober, because there's this like this fear that, oh, if I share about my story, if I share my hope, or if I share my what was bad and now how it changed and what's good now, that I'll be punished for it. I could be. Right? Or people could see me in a non-professional light. And like, so I really I fucking am really grateful that you're coming to share it, because the reality is that, you shared with me that, you got sober when you were 30, but you might've gotten sober at 25 if you had met guys like us that were like living a good, big life, that were sober and were like shared that hope with you. And the reason that, you didn't find us at 25 is because we weren't loud enough, dude.
Well, and the fact was, I thought everyone in the recovery community was brainwashed. I was convinced. I was like, these guys are fucking idiots. At the end of the day, if they would just have a drink, they'd probably calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
And,
I would calm down.
Yeah, for about 10 minutes. And then I'd be kicking doors off the hinges again.
I'd go on Amazon and buy like a SWAT team costume, and then just start kicking in doors of bars and give me your beers.
With how everything's going now. It's funny how my sober mind's different now, because now I think about it and I'm like, dude, maybe I would just set up a studio like next to my house so I didn't have to terrorize my kids and my wife and just kick doors off the hinges over there. But yeah, and to your original thought, this is the most important thing in the world. It didn't used to be the most important thing in the world, but people are dying because of alcoholism and drug addiction. Period. End of story. You don't need to read a book. Watch the news.
And there's a cure,
That's
dude.
right.
There's a cure.
And it's not, I want to make this incredibly clear, because this is my experience. I'm not telling anybody watching this how to live their life or how to recover.
You are. Just tell them how to live their life.
I'm going to tell you how to live your life, and I'm going to tell you how to.
Okay.
The only way that I was able to do it is I had to first accept that what I was doing wasn't working. And at the end of the day, the realization I finally came to is not drinking was not enough for me. I had to find like-minded individuals. And when I found AA, dude, my life just changed.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of
I'm
like-minded
jacked up
people
right now, dude.
Dude, I'm
for
fired
sure.
up. I
jacked
feel
up.
hot.
I'm fucking jacked up, dude. Honestly, bro, what a great pitch. I was gonna say pitch it, but like you just did it perfect. Find like-minded individuals that you can get hope from, guys that you want to be like, guys that you feel comfortable around, girls that you feel comfortable around, and do it, bro.
Dude, that's the only thing you can do. This is the whole idea of sobriety is not inaction. It's not drinking.
Yeah.
It's not drinking. Double negative. You like that?
Yeah.
It's actually taking the steps to heal.
Right.
And part of doing that, like I just said, the biggest portion of my recovery was accepting that everything was everybody else's fault. I mean, every single thing I did.
I think that's a common thing for a lot of people in recovery. They look back and they're like, damn.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
And now looking back, I was thinking on my ride to work this morning, I was like, holy shit. Everything I did, I had some amount of wrong in, and I refused to accept it.
And I think that's just in general in life, because like people on this or watching this fucking podcast that fucking aren't sober don't need to be sober. They like drinking their natty lights. They like going to holiday parties and beating up their stepbrother. Like that's normal, right?
Yeah, it can be.
But the reality is if you're normal and you're listening, you inevitably will have a family member or a friend that needs help, right? And the truth is that they will deny and they'll blame and boom, boom, boom. And then eventually will come a time where they are willing to listen. And I think that the best way to get them before they crash and burn their life like an 84 Corvette piece of shit is that they meet guys and girls that are sober and happy. And the sooner you can get them in front of us, like the sooner that they'll start changing.
Yeah.
Dude. But like this segues into another question. You're a criminal lawyer, right?
Sure.
I got diarrhea from a taco truck a while back, right? Is there any way that that's illegal? Like, is it illegal for a taco truck to give me diarrhea, dude?
I guess that would depend on the intent at the time. they gave you. If it was just to cook shitty tacos, I'd say they're probably safe.
Okay.
But if they knew you were coming and they intentionally
Gave
and
Jeff
this is
diarrhea.
not legal advice.
Yeah.
But if they intentionally gave you diarrhea, then maybe we'll have a conversation.
Well, what if they gave me diarrhea and then I stood outside the taco truck and then asked at least 10 other people like, yo, did you get diarrhea also? You know what I mean? And then we come to you with 10 other
With a
people.
class
So
action.
we're
you're,
like, yeah,
you're now talking about certifying a class action
Yes.
diarrhea lawsuit. I mean, sure, we could.
Okay. All right, good. I think the public needs to know that too, because I think
Sure.
we've all been hit by the taco truck diarrhea, and there needs to be some accountability there, dude.
And now I'm going to have hundreds of thousands of people finding me to
Yep.
file this lawsuit.
You're welcome.
Right there it is. I think Yelp should have a button. It says like, did you enjoy it? Did it give you diarrhea?
It's like the negative
Right?
1 star.
Yeah, it's like I want to know for research purposes, But that being said, I'm fucking proud of you, dude. You got 2 years
Thank
sober.
you.
You're working with your family. You're doing what it takes to get your life back. And what I found too is that like when I got sober with nothing. I was waiting outside Home Depot, yada yada. I lost my real estate license at the time, which I've never gotten back. Fuck it, R.I.P. But at 2 years sober, my life was back together. The puzzle pieces were back, and I had freedom.
Dude, it's what it's all about. It's completely different. And I have to say, if I've ever fucking met anybody who looks like they sell real estate, it is you.
I don't sell real estate. I don't sell it, dude. Don't call me asking for it. I don't want to. I'm gonna be honest. I love real estate, but I couldn't be an agent, dude. It would drive me nuts.
I'd feel intimidated as fuck if this 6'8"
Oh
guy
my
come over me. I'd be
God.
like, yes, yeah, here, take all my money here.
Yeah, and it doesn't do Jeff justice on camera. He is humongous. You're looking up at him. And it's funny because as much as I enjoyed being an attorney, it really did. It catered to the worst parts of my addictive personality. I was paid to represent a position. That position was never something that was 100% the truth. Not that I ever made disingenuous arguments, but you are literally paid, whether you're working in a civil case or a criminal case, you are paid for the purpose of representing
of winning.
100%.
Well, that's great because you're a winner, dude.
Dude,
Right.
I appreciate it.
You're a winner. And there's nothing wrong with like, hey man, I believe in fate. And if something falls in your lap and it feels kind of kooky, like, you have the ability and the freedom today to say, nope, this doesn't serve me. It doesn't serve my morality. And dude, what a wild thing, because before you got sober, you didn't even have that fucking compass.
No morals.
Dude, that is right on the nose. And I'm going to tell you, running my family's business, like I said, when my mom passed away, I had this my dad told me, well, I'm either going to sell the business or you can come help me out. And I had this real passion, not necessarily for air conditioning, but dude,
that's a special
for
thing.
propane and propane
Right?
accessories.
You like R410A? But you know, it's super cool because it's something that matters to my parents and that my family has a legacy in. And unlike being an attorney, dude, it's 100% straightforward. This is what you're getting. This is what the cost is. And if you're willing to pay that cost, my only job at that point is to provide you the absolute highest level of service I can. So you're always trying to do the right thing. So it's a blessing. And the more I figure out that it has nothing to do with me, it's just incredible, man.
Yeah, side note real quick. Yeah, unbelievable business that's in town here.
Thank
I've
you
known
very
it.
much.
And unbelievable marketing strategy on those billboard signs.
like
because
that?
whoever, I was like, the first thing I think, I'm like, I wonder if Mike came up with this, because it's amazing.
Thank you, sir.
But yeah, dude, I was just thinking when you were telling me about how you were able to go and get sober, and instead of like pursuing selfish or like self-serving things like, oh, I could see a lot of people, I went to law school, I'm entitled to go serve, I need to go do it and finish my mission. But instead, like, you probably put your family through a good amount of hell when you were out there, like drinking and using, and you were able to repay that. And like now you're in active, you know, paying it back to your family in the form of like service and like keeping their legacy going. And that's fucking dope.
That feels great. That's like the biggest thing. It's like, that's a natural high that, you know, I think a lot of people, for me personally, whenever I was out using drugs and drinking, you know, I was searching for something that made me feel good instead of just kind of taking a step back and having that humbling feeling of just helping somebody and being of service. There's nothing, that's the high that just lasts forever.
Well, and it's so funny because it's also the high that doesn't make you feel like shit in the morning.
Yeah,
which
no
is
withdrawals.
Even cool,
No
you know?
withdrawals.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's the cool thing.
It's
too.
a legal drug, dude.
It
Yeah, it is.
I was going to ask you that, like, what legal drugs are there? And then now you're telling me it's service, dude. So if you're out there trying to get high and not go to jail, do some shit for
Yeah,
other
go
people.
open a door for somebody. You know?
Dude, it's completely different, and I want to make this clear too. In my journey of sobriety, I hated it at the beginning. Like one of the things I hated most was watching football games because I used to always get like super duper fucked
Yeah,
up.
you didn't even finish the football games.
No, so I'm just staring at it and I'm like, dude, I'm in no mindset to watch this.
Yeah.
But you know, as I grew more. As I grew stronger in my journey of sobriety, I found not only do I enjoy the stuff that I used to enjoy, dude, it's even better now.
Way better.
It's crazy.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's fucking dope, dude. I'm proud of you, man.
Thank
like,
you.
for real. That is dope. I get to see how proud your fucking parents are. And I'm really excited that, like, the community should be proud of you. Like, you know, back in like Indian Native American communities, like instead of like sending people out when they were doing bad, like I feel like in American households, like if your child's an addict or suffering or causing problems because they're, you know, addicted or alcoholic, that you send them out and then come back when you fix your own shit.
For sure.
And in older societies and older cultures, they bring them in and they hold them closer. And I feel like our community could do that with us as we're recovering. But we need to be vocal. We need to be loud and say, hey, I need help doing this. I can't do it alone. And instead of like ostracizing us, bring us in.
Well, you know, there's a level of pride, I think, of individual pride too, and you know, people. I think that's a great point, Jeff, and it's part of it. But I think the individual also is like, I want to do this myself,
Right.
And like, if I had one thing I could have done different, because I remember when everything went down in 2021, I was like, okay, well, I'll hide for the next like 3 to 7 years. Everyone will forget what happened,
Yeah.
and then I'll come back out. And of course, that's not how it works.
Exactly.
And when I finally met my sponsor in AA, he's like, dude, you have got to call when you need something. Like,
Right.
you have got to call and let me know when you're hurting.
Yeah.
And so I find that easy to do with everyone now. And, you know, the community of Alcoholics Anonymous is incredible. On top of the program, dude, you call somebody, they're going to answer.
It's
the
telling
phone.
on yourself, and the telling on yourself is a real common theme you hear people share, and
For sure.
and that's a crucial part. You know, reaching out. It's like, you know, and if the first person doesn't answer, man, call the next person.
For sure.
Yeah. And to that point, even like, I think it's our responsibility to do that within our community. I'm not saying like answer the HVAC phone, like, hey, what's up? It's Mike. I'm sober. What up?
Yeah.
I'm just saying like, you know, letting people know that, hey, you know, I am a person in recovery and here's what my life looks like today. I feel like there's some like, you know, we don't want to like shine our brightest because like, you know, it's a little too bright sometimes, or we feel like,
For
oh, I'm
sure.
still the old me. But the reality is that the more people in our community that know about us or know us as a resource, the more that we're able to help other people before they crash and burn.
Well, here's a good point too. So yesterday I had a call from a really good friend, you know, that's been going to meetings and he's doing really well. He's at that point where obviously because he told me, he called me, he said, did you ever have this feeling of depression or anything at this point in your sobriety? And I was like, first of all, I get chills just hearing. I'm like, bro, just for you calling me and asking me that question not only makes me feel good that you're reaching out, but that's the right question to ask. People don't know the right questions to ask. And then, so I gave him, I was like, all I can do is kind of give you my opinion or something. But what I would suggest is when we get off the phone is you call, I had him call Jeff, you know, get another opinion for somebody, you know what I mean? And not just one person, but that's the biggest part for me. And whenever I was out using, first I thought, like you said, I thought I could do it on my own, and I didn't want anybody to help me anyways, you know. And now knowing that I'm not alone, you know, that was that first step.
Yeah, well, that's fucking dope.
Dude, and it's wild because that's the whole thing too. So your ego is so fucked at the time that you come in after being, you know, regulating your life, drugs and alcohol, and you know there's nothing good enough to fix you except these substances. When you come in, often you either think you're way bigger than you are or way smaller than you are. So whenever you have this communal approach, you know, bouncing ideas off people, not to be told what's right and wrong, but because you're doing the work and you are gaining that level of intuition where you're going to do the right thing. And that's the struggle. I tell everybody, I felt like there was a fucking foot on my chest for 9 months. I ate so much Adderall. I drank a half handle of Wild Turkey 101 every in one of those like big Tervis cup
Did
things.
you collect the bottles too?
Dude, normally I threw them.
I'd pee in them.
They didn't stick along around.
Pee in the Wild Turkey bottle and then drink it on accident.
Hell yeah.
That's how you know you're a man.
Yeah.
You know, real talk though. So there's a lot of normal people out there wondering, man, are boner pills drugs, dude?
Dude, I think so. Jerking off's a drug.
Oh,
so,
you're going there, dude. I don't want to go there, dude.
I do. Let's go there.
Let's go there.
I think boner pills are absolutely a drug. Well,
so if you're sober popping boner pills for a little extra, you know, you're being of service to your wife, you know what I mean? And it's just like a good time, you know? But like,
well, what if you're not married?
What if you're not married and you're taking a boner pill? That's, you know, there's a lot of these boner pills out there. You got the Rhinos, you got the Black Magic, you got all this shit at the gas station.
I'm afraid.
Is that what those are?
I'm
Bro,
afraid.
yeah, they're boner pills.
Don't tell him that.
Yeah.
First of all,
Can we take a break?
I don't. I honestly don't think boner pills drug. Right, but
of course
like,
you don't.
I don't. But like, if it was a drug, why isn't there a Boners Anonymous? Right,
Dude,
there it is. If it was a drug, it'd be Boners Anonymous.
You want to talk about people that are hiding from it?
Yeah.
The people that are using the boner pills, they're not coming out.
They're coming. They're coming, dude.
They're coming.
They're coming. But the truth is that like real talk, I think that there's a good amount of dudes taking boner pills today because it's kind of like an energy drink. Like I don't need an energy drink to go about my damn day.
Are they
You
waking
don't need
up?
a boner pill to like, you know, have the good time, but it's like it makes it better.
Are they waking up taking them? Like, because that's a problem.
Yeah,
You know
if
what
you're
I mean?
waking up, if you're waking up popping boner pills, it's a
you
problem.
should get sober.
But if you're just popping a boner pill at like 5 p.m. when you're going home, then you're in safe territories. You know what I mean?
You know what the only
I don't have that kind of control.
Dude, absolutely not. No, if I'm doing, see, and that's how I know it's a drug. Because if I'm doing boner pills, I'm waking up and I'm hammering like 8 of them, and I'm hammering like 8 of them at 10 a.m.
Yes.
I'm calling the doctor because
That's
it's
a-
been 4 hours.
That's
Some
right.
people, yeah. So if you're taking boner pills like that, you should definitely stop.
Yeah.
You know? You should call in and let us know how we could help you. dude.
Right.
Dude, we could go to the hospital. I bet
I'm
we could find them.
I'm powerless over boners, dude. But yeah, honestly, it was just a thought. I was like, you know what? It's like caffeine. You know what I mean? Caffeine's a drug, but like, hey, everyone's, you know, it's like one of those things where it's like, oh, okay, like, you know, where do we draw the fucking line?
Right.
You know what I mean? And you have to draw a line. You have to. It's just like, if you don't, my mind's gonna find the fucking loophole.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right, and you're an attorney, so you're even more prone to like look at things and be like, "Where's the fucking
Fine
the
print.
flaw, and what can I get away with?" Right? Because I always, man, when I was like newly sober, I'd be like, "Okay, like why don't we have a free lapse day? Like why don't like, on a leap year, for example, we have 366 fucking days. That extra day should be for us to get high. That should be for us to do with what we want."
Dude, that's a hell of a thought. Yeah.
Right? Okay, so back to it then. Real talk. If you got one free lapse day every 4 years or every fucking year even, what would it look like?
Dude, I hope that the
Detail.
people watching this can see the helmet behind you. It would start off with me putting the Celsius helmet on. That'd be the first thing that I would do when I woke up.
Okay, that's good. All right.
Does this include where I would be too?
Yes.
Where you would be as descriptive as you can get.
I want to know the details.
Yeah, I would be. This is going to be fairly specific. I would be in Iceland.
Nice.
Is Iceland green and Greenland
Yes,
icy?
yes, it is.
So I guess I'd be in Greenland. I would want to be somewhere with like some ice caves. You
Tight.
know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
And what would you take?
Everything.
Oh, so you'd have a suitcase like what's that movie?
Fear
where
and Loathing in
Fear
Las
and Loathing.
Vegas.
What are you waking up taking first? Who are you with? Are you by yourself in an ice cave or hanging out with polar bears?
With
or?
like a Yeti.
Yeti?
Yes.
I would look for the Yeti.
Is there more than one Yeti?
Yeah, does he use with you or does he?
Yes.
Okay,
So
good.
he has to
Yeti.
take. Oh yeah.
Do you dose him or does he dose himself?
No, he's gonna have to be dosed by me.
Yeah, good.
Do they
Okay.
have opposable thumbs? The Yetis.
Let's say they do.
Okay,
Yes.
so I mean, he could dose himself if he wants to.
Okay, dope.
I want like the John F. Kennedy acid, the stuff with like the faces printed on it.
Okay, so you want to go places no man's gone before.
Well, I'm in a fucking ice cave, Jeff. What do
Yeah.
you want? What else do you
With the
really want me
Okay,
to do?
what are you wearing in the ice cave while you're dropping acid?
Absolutely nothing.
You're fully naked
Yeah,
in
I can
minus
see
20
that.
degrees.
No,
Okay.
no. This is an insulated ice cave.
Insulated
Isn't
ice
that
cave.
the thought of an igloo? This has. I've put a heater in it.
I'd want a sock on my nuts just to keep the nuts warm.
I don't know.
I can see them in chubbies, like those little shorts,
Dude,
and that's it.
he's
Yeah.
right.
Chubby's
Or
good.
just Sophie's for a
With
little
this- with
extra
this
room.
fucking rocking out the
Yeah.
mustache.
Does the Yeti look like that mite? Like, what's the big Monsters Inc. guy that's blue? You know
No,
the guy?
the Yeti is cut just like me. He only has a mustache left.
No, oh, so he's shaved.
Yeah,
Did you
he's-
shave him?
I brought, this is getting wild.
Yeah, so he's like the Sphinx cat.
Right, exactly.
Okay,
That's
okay.
him.
He's pale pink.
And then I think I would probably, if you got a Yeti, do you ride a Yeti?
I mean, at that point, after y'all dose, I'm sure he's riding you.
He could keep, yeah, he's riding you, or you could get one of those like baby carrier backpacks, and he could carry you around Greenland.
So, and you know,
That would be fun.
This is incredible because this is what I thought using drugs and alcohol was going to be like.
Right.
Is this conversation?
Yeah.
But I realized that I was like this before I used drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
And now it's normal again, which
Right.
that's the strength of the whole thing, right?
Don't
Yeah,
need
like,
the stimulant.
If you can sit there right now on TV or whatever the fuck you're watching this on, and then you can like just give 30 seconds to your thought and come up with like a crazy ass scenario where you're in fucking Greenland wearing chubbies with a goddamn abominable snowman with a suitcase full of drugs, just like Johnny Depp in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and you can plan out exactly how that experience is going to play. You probably should get sober. And if you're not that creative, then you're normal.
Dude, and think about this too. If this show was called Are Jeff, Mike, and Kyle slam plastered ass drunk or sober? I believe that most people would guess slam plastered drunk.
High as fuck.
We're going to do that actually. We're going to go into public, like in the wild, like downtown St. Aug, and then we're going to fucking, one person's going to be super drunk and one of us is going to be sober but acting shit-faced, and we're going to ask people which one of us is fucked up.
Right.
Dude, that's solid.
Right? It's a good play.
It's brilliant.
And then we're going to sell things too. We haven't figured out what we're going to sell yet. So if you have any good advice on what to sell, we'll fucking,
Just be careful, the licensing requirements to sell stuff downtown. But we'll talk about that.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's why we need you.
I'll sell locks of hair, or like weird shit.
How are you gonna get?
I'll sell my soul. I'll just like write a bunch of my souls on paper and sell my soul.
Kind of intelligent, but then you're gonna be beholden to many for your soul.
Yeah, but I could have a fine print in there using your law services and then figure out like, hey, how could I get my soul back? It depreciates over time, and after 10 years, the soul is relinquished back to me.
This
Like-
sounds
like
very
Panama.
detailed. Have you thought about this before? Or
No,
this
it just came up.
Yeah,
Just came
that
up.
makes sense.
But it's got me thinking though, like, what would my one day of using be like? And now I'm like, I feel behind because yours is like so fucking
Right.
script.
Right.
I mean, like honestly. honestly, I'd probably want to wake up on an airplane being shipped to somewhere that no one I know could fucking intervene with my situation, right? And then when that plane lands, it would land somewhere like super exotic, like Morocco, and I would be wearing like a shawl where no one could see me, and I would like walk around like Yoda, or I'd be in a wheelchair so then I could really just like roll around.
Bro, you're not even, the plane's not even landing. You're taking a, you know, you're jumping out of it.
I'm going to be on like 10 Ambien.
That's a good.
That's a good one.
Yes, they pushed me out of the plane.
In
I'm
a
on
wheelchair,
Ambien.
you're like, yeah.
I'm on Ambien.
falling
I
asleep.
wake up in a fucking total blackout, right?
And then I fall asleep
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. And I wake up on a sand dune. You know what I mean?
Sunburn, half of your face is sunburned.
Yep, 100%, dude. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like hanging out with, you know, with Yoda. You know what I mean? Like I just want to be hanging with Yoda. And
Yeah.
and then have Yoda teach me all the future drug
Right.
uses. But either way, back to it. We got some more questions
Sure.
for you, okay, dude? So check this out. Okay, so what's your favorite part of sobriety, man?
Dude, this, you know, there is an order that has returned to my life, which used to make me super uncomfortable. I would just get up and get really fucked up. And I was like, well, now I can relax because I really can't do anything else because I'm hammered or high or whatever the case is. But, you know, there's nothing I like more than getting to work at 6 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
And then whenever I got this opportunity, whenever we talked after the meeting last week, you know, this, and I really didn't realize it until we started, this is the stuff that I live for.
Right.
So my favorite part of sobriety, I've been blessed. I have been restored in this ability to enjoy the living shit out of normal stuff.
And not normal stuff, you know what I mean? Like really, you know what I mean? Like some off the wall stuff, and that to me was sobriety of enjoying life. That
Absolutely.
human experience that I was always searching for.
Were you married when you got sober?
I was.
Oh, damn. This is the juicy part, dude.
Dude, let it rip. Go
so
ahead.
your wife knew you. How long were you with your wife with your wife before you got sober?
2 years.
So she's seen you 2 years fucked up, and she's seen you 2 years sober.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So you picked her up fucked up.
Slammed.
So you didn't even know. You blacked out. You woke up, and her name was in your phone. You know, bar. You know, whatever she was wearing.
We met on eHarmony.
Oh, nice.
You scammed her,
Shout
dude.
out to
You scammed her.
eHarmony.
Dude, I had
I'm
all
a
my-
Christian boy.
did.
I'm a Christian boy. I was on acid and made an eHarmony account, and I met my wife. It works. It works.
I was like, you know, I just really want a family. And then, of course, I was drunk all the time and I had fucking extra kids in my house. So I hated them. I absolutely despised it. And I remember one of the first conversations we had. I was like, well, you know, my ideal life is I'll come home at the end from working every day and I'll be a super successful lawyer. And you can just pour me like a massive drink and we can black out and be wild and live this crazy. Like that was the pinnacle of my existence. to me at
Dude,
that
a
time.
lot
You
of
had it
people
scripted
have
out.
that.
Like that was
Dude,
it.
we were just going to be fucked up for the rest of our lives. It was going to be super cool. And then we got in a fist fight.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. And so, I mean, it's incredible though. Even after like all the bad stuff happened, I was like, well, that was obviously normal because everybody drinks. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like Florida normal.
Yeah.
Dude, okay. Finish what you're saying right now about. I don't even know where we were, but I got a story to remind you of. Okay, so go for it.
I don't know where I am. No, I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
you were talking about your wife now. How great is your
So-
relationship?
Dude, it is. When I first got sober, I was miserable. I mean, I was horrible. I just hated everyone because I couldn't get fucked up. But as my sobriety has gone on, she said this to me last night. She's like, I'm just blown away at the work that you've done on yourself and the way that you treat the kids and I. And dude, it meant more to me than anything in the world. And you know, going home and giving her a hug and being able to do the dishes. Like, I fucking love doing the dishes.
Yeah,
I
like it
love
too.
it, dude. I'll scrub the shit out of some dishes.
It's also people leave you alone when you're doing the dishes because they don't want to help. So then, like, you get your alone time. know?
Absolutely.
Well, that made me think of like when somebody recognizes the work that you put in, you know, and it's happened to me a couple times where it would caught me off guard, and I'm just like, I'm proud of me too. you know, and
That's cool.
And I think that's okay to say is like, no, I am proud of me. I've done a lot of work.
I'm
you know
proud
what I
of
mean?
you, dude. And
Yeah.
I've known you since you were 2 years sober.
2 months.
2 months. So yeah, Kyle called me
I haven't
crying.
made it to 2
The
years
first
yet.
month, I thought you were gonna fire me as your sponsor.
Yeah.
Like, he called me, he's crying. He's like, "Oh, what do I do? I can't pay my rent. I don't know what
Right.
to do." I'm like, "Get to
Right.
work, dude. Go
Yeah.
to work. It's Saturday.
Started
you should
laughing
be
at
working."
me, dude. I was like, bro, this isn't a laughing matter, dude. Don't laugh at me. He's like, bro, it's hilarious. First of all, because I remember where I was when I first got sober, and you're in that same exact position, and you have two choices. You can fold, which I don't think you will, or you can go out and get the fucking work done. And I think that's what you're gonna do. And I was like, I got off the phone. I was like, that motherfucker's right, dude. I had to hear that, you know.
Dude, in real talk, a lot of people would have fucking folded. So,
Yeah.
you know, but either way, dude, like being proud of yourself, I think a lot of us, like I said, they don't fucking shine. We don't want to shine because
For
we don't
sure.
want to make others feel bad. I think a lot of this whole like Instagram social media shit, so many people feel bad like when they see you with a you know, oh, I just bought a new car, I bought a house, I made my wife happy, yada yada yada. And like we don't want to make other people feel bad by shining, but the truth is that we need to in order to make like people know like, hey, you could do it too. If
Right.
And that's the whole thing. I think a lot of people, whenever I was considering getting sober, I was like, dude, these guys are assholes. Why do they have to be so happy? And why is everything going so great for them? And you know what I've realized? That is not a that person problem. That was a me problem
Right.
in that moment. And the reality of the situation is, dude, you want to stay where you are? That's fine. You can stay there. But the message is that there is a way to live that is sustainable, that you can wake up every morning and enjoy your life and the people in it without getting taxed and without mortgaging your happiness every day.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
that.
I like that.
Dude.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so talking about mortgages, bro, let's get on a hustle, dude. Tyler's been staying at my place, man, and I've been teaching him some side hustles, you know, just because like I came from nothing, man. Like I literally started waiting outside of Home Depot for $8 an hour when I got sober, and because I couldn't get a job, right? I was like unemployable, and then like I started making a little bit of money, saving it. I didn't get a bank account until I was 2 years sober. And I kept all my money in a fucking shoebox, dude. And I was one of those idiots that got like stacks of ones, and then
That's hot.
I put 100 on top.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like an
It's a
idiot.
feel-good thing.
It's a feel good thing. But yeah, dude. So check this hustle out. Okay, this is a hustle that's fun and free for everyone. So in October and November, you can go to the bank and you can order uncirculated $2 bills, right? This is a
Right.
federally sealed brick of $2 bills. Check it out.
Dude,
Costs you
that is hot.
That's a real deal thing.
that's $2,000 worth of twos. It's 1,000 $2 bills, and they're sequential. They're
You seen these?
uncirculated.
Yeah, I did.
Right, and it's you buy it for what it's worth, $2,000. The bank gives it to you, and it's cool. Go on eBay, motherfuckers are selling this thing for $2,800. So minus the eBay fees, you're making $400 profit. You know, so if you go and you have $6,000 in the bank, go buy fucking $6,000 worth of $2 bills, flip them on eBay, make $1,200. Now you're at $7,200. Right, like stuff like that. Like I think we got to
That's
share that
hot.
knowledge.
That is
Yeah, yeah.
hot.
Yeah, dude. There's also this uncut sheet of $100 bills you can buy from the U.S. Treasury site. You get like $1,600 bills in an uncut sheet, and those sell on eBay for $3,500. You buy it from the website for $18, and you could double your money in one hit. Hustle, dude.
Yeah, that's a great hustle.
Free hustle, guys. Sober hustle right here.
And it
dude.
feels good to, I think the best part about that is just holding that right there. Holding this feels good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, I got a lot of twos.
And everyone
too.
loves
Raining
twos.
twos.
Who does number 2 work for?
Yeah,
You.
dude. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
put it up like a phone. Yeah.
What up?
hello.
What up, dude? You know
Who's
what I
calling?
mean?
Who's the president on this thing? It don't matter.
Yeah. Who is the president on the $2 bill?
I don't know.
I don't
Good
even
question.
know. I don't
You
even
should
know.
know. You're
Why
a lawyer.
should I? Oh, yeah, 'cause that's the first thing they taught us in law
I want to
school
hold
was.
it, you know. But yeah, dude. The first thing you learned who's the presidents on what dollar bills, so people can pay you. Let's see. Nope, it doesn't say on here.
Why would
It's
it
covered.
say?
It's not
Jack?
going to say.
But yeah, either way, hustle of the day, dude. Flipping twos, man.
Flipping twos.
Google says Thomas Jefferson.
That's what I was
Thanks.
gonna guess, but I was
TJ,
fearful.
dude.
Thanks, Tyler.
I was
TJ.
fearful. Opportunity missed.
Right, but like I mean, this is just things. It's like when I first got sober too, like I don't know if you can relate, but like I would be bored because my brain was still working at that speed of when I was out there. And you were an
Yeah.
Adderall fucking taker, dude. So you
Awesome.
were working 100
Yeah.
miles an
Oh
hour.
yeah.
So like I got sober,
Same.
I go work at a restaurant. I'd take their order and then I'd go into the drink station and I'd be on like eBay and Craigslist and like I'd be looking for deals. So I'd be like, what's the deal? And then I'd just be flipping shit, you know? Or I'd drive by curbs and see like couches and I'd take it home and I would try to sell it. Sometimes I wouldn't sell and I just like, leave them on my curb.
You never know what's in a couch, on a couch.
Dude, there's like times where like people bought shit at like a Goodwill or at like the thrift store and then they cut open the couch like I don't know how the fuck they cut that couch open, but they find like grandpa's like, you know, stack of cash that he's been sitting on, you know? And I'm like,
oh, dude,
that's the real hustle. Getting furniture. We got to go after this.
I went to a thrift store one time and I was with this girl and she was buying like thrifting some clothes, and in the back I went to like the silverware to check because I was fucked up at that point. And obviously, and I found a whole thing of sterling silver, like the big ones, you know what I mean? And I went and found her. I was like, we gotta go, and she was like, what? And I was like, doesn't matter. I was hoping that they wouldn't see it. I got it for $5, went to the pawn shop, sold it for, I think it was like $600 worth of silver.
That's hot.
It was high for like 2 days off that.
Bro, well, I mean, I forget. I probably owed rent then and was like, I'm going to pay rent, and then like didn't pay rent and just went and bought more pills or something.
That's another thing. Like, imagine being a landlord dealing with us, dude.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Fuck, dude.
Yeah, no, I don't want to.
Honestly, like if you're out there, dude, the landlords that dealt with all of us, we are sorry.
100%.
We're all the excuses.
We are
all
sorry.
the checks in the mail and all the you know, bullshit that you put up with from us, dude. Like people taking copper out of your pipes and stuff.
Well, you know, in the beginning of my recovery, that's a good point. So when in the beginning of my recovery, I went and got a you know, had to do the application for a 1-bedroom place, expensive as shit downtown. But I was like, this is what I want. I want no roommates, this and that. Well, I did the application, but before I talked to the property manager, I was up front. I was like, look, I'm going to have this and this on my record. You know, I'm in recovery. I'm working a program. And then he called me back like an hour later and he was like, look, the application didn't go through, but I'm vouching for you because you were upfront and honest with me. And it's been the best relationship. You know what I mean? And that was like the first step of me being like, damn, being honest is like what you should be doing. You know what I mean? Like the next right thing kind of thing.
Dude, it is. And I'll tell you this, you know, it's funny because there's a devil's advocate side to that too. Well, what if he doesn't find out?
Right.
You know what I found out is that for the vast fucking majority of the time, people are eventually going to figure
the truth is going to come out.
So if it doesn't work out up front, you leave with a wonderful relationship.
Right.
And, you know, the feeling of knowing that you were honest and upfront and straightforward. If it does work out, you get the reaffirmation that you did the right thing, and it still worked out.
It's a reference. I just talked to the guy the other day, and I found another place. I'm gonna be moving out to save some more money and yada yada. And he was like, he goes, I just want to let you know if you ever need anything, even if you're in another country, you know what I mean? Like you can use me as a reference. And I was like, damn, I'm 34 years old. I've never had anybody. You know, it's like being listed as an emergency contact.
Dude,
I'm like,
it is.
you know, and I've had that happen to me. I was like, holy shit,
That's
dude.
a responsibility.
Yeah, that's a responsibility thing.
I don't want responsibility.
Yeah, but it feels good.
That's another thing about being sober too, is that you come in and then like you're so used to not having any responsibility, and then you get some and you like it a little bit, but then you get a lot of it. Like I gotta pay my Netflix bill and my fucking rent, and I gotta pay my car payment and my insurance, and I gotta consider my credit score, and you get all this responsibility. And then it's kind of overwhelming where you're like, I don't like it anymore.
Yeah, but that makes you, for me, that gives me an incentive to stay on this path. You know what I mean? Like instead of just like washing it, you know, down the drain.
But I think like so many people out there, like even people that are just young like us, right? Let's just frame it like get rid of the sober aspect of it. Just being young today, being young. You're a lawyer. You're working towards a career, and you got skills. You're a great landscaper, carpenter. You got real skills that you know the people out there have, and we have responsibility now. Like. Think about the 1950s. In the 50s, you had like 3 bills. You had like your mortgage, your cable bill, and like your electric bill, and that was it, you know, and it was tiny compared to what you were making. And then now here we are today struggling for air. So I think it's like so important for like young guys like us and girls to fucking share the information we've learned. Like Kyle, it took me 5 years to get my credit score from 500 to over 700 when I got, you know, sober and was working on it. Like you're you know, in less than 6 months.
Less than 2 months.
Less than 2 months. I told you how I did it, and you went from a 600 up to like a 740.
It's at 745 right now.
What's your credit score?
In 2 months.
Over 800.
My
See, that's what I'm
man.
talking about.
And we got to share that,
Right.
dude. Like, if you're out there and you don't know how to get your credit score up and you're just being quiet about it, ask someone else that's done
For
it.
sure,
Let us
dude.
teach you. You know?
And you know, that's like what I've really learned in my recovery is like things went from so macro, like, right? I'm like, dude, I've got to pay my bills. Like, I've got to keep the lights on. And yeah, that's a great first step. But as you move forward, you won't realize it to begin with, but that'll start to become easy.
Yeah.
And you got to take a moment there and be like, dude, this is cool. And then you're going to be fucking worrying about your credit score and why do I pay $188 for DirecTV instead of $150? And that's when it starts. Whenever you have time to call the DirecTV people and be like, fuck you, I want my 6-month
Discount.
promotions back or I'm out of here.
That's so funny you just said
Dude,
that.
you're
You
pretty
had a
sober.
situation the other day too where it was like, I forget who was.
$15. And I
15,
was like,
yeah.
cut it, dude.
Well, no, not that. It was something else with I forget what was one of your bills, and they went up $20 on
No.
Xfinity, or
Yeah.
it might have been Owen or somebody said, he's like, why is Xfinity going up $20 on me? Like, these are like people with like real world problem, like going up $20 for me. Like back in the day, like I'd
didn't
waste
care.
$20.
I ain't paying the bill.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Raise the bill. I ain't paying it. That's another thing. Like, if you're out there and you're on your hustle, like every dollar matters. You know what I mean?
sure.
And like, I feel like so many young people are afraid to look cheap more than they're afraid of being broke. Oh, there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like if your bill goes up or if something costs more, don't be afraid to be like, why did I get charged that? Or look, like that's going to benefit you in the long run. Like, I am in line behind you and you're questioning your the bill. I'm not going to be, you don't be embarrassed by me. I'm going to be like, I respect this guy more because he's trying to protect his future.
For sure.
And so like, I think the right people around you, all of my friends that are millionaires and multimillionaires, if they saw me, questioning a $15 charge, they're not going to think less of me. If anything, they're going to think I'm a better business partner or a better person to do business with because I'm protecting the fund, And like so many people out there think the opposite. Oh, if I'm at dinner with friends and I question why they charge me $9 for this, like I'm going to look cheap and everyone's going to be like, ha, ha, ha. But we're not like that, dude. The right people are going to be like, dude, keep it, man.
And that's the point. So at least for me, I reached a point in my recovery. I was like, fuck those people. At the end of the day, I was looking at, we sell air conditioning filters that go in the bottom of the units.
What's your air conditioning company called?
Action Heating and Air.
Okay, I need to use you, dude.
Dude, it's solid. I'm telling you.
Yeah, they're solid. Really are.
I mean, it's a wonderful company.
I think I
And,
use Snyder.
dude, it's not, I mean, they're good people.
Yeah, but like, I mean, I'm gonna support my homie. Always support your homies, man. Your homies got businesses, small,
That's
big,
right.
doesn't fucking matter. You support your friends and don't be embarrassed by it. Share their business. It costs you nothing. If you're out there and you're supporting people that do nothing for you or that will never clap for you, you're fucked, dude.
For sure.
You will never get anywhere. Him and I know this. Well, this is like our first time really hanging out. And I can already feel that in 20 years, when we're both old men sitting there, I'm going to be like, dude, I supported him. And at some point, you will come in and support me. And boom.
Well, and that's the thing, too. I thought when I first got into recovery, I was certain that I was around the less than desirables. And that's the message, too. Like, there are shitheads everywhere.
Right.
Everywhere. Sober, drunk, any nation of origin. There are bad people everywhere. One of the things that I have learned, some of the people that I have become closest with and depend on the most have done some of the most despicable things I have ever heard of in their addiction.
Yeah, that's funny, right?
And it's, but I mean, it's the real deal, man.
The slingshot, right? Like the complete 180. The worse you were, I find usually the better you are sober because you have so much to make up for. And
sure.
I feel like, that turnaround it's like a slingshot effect. The further back you pull the slingshot, the farther the ball's going to go.
And you really start to realize, or at least I really started to realize in my recovery, when I was really messed up, I don't know if I didn't really know how bad it was or I didn't really care, But when I got
Both,
sober,
definitely both.
right? Now when I got sober, I am so blatantly aware of every action. I was talking to somebody about a new air conditioner the other day, and he's like, well, do you think it's going to make it to 10 years? And I went to say yes. And I stopped myself and I was like, sir, to tell you that I have any idea how that machine is going to work over the next. And I stopped and I was like, man, that was kind of unnecessary. But you know what? At the end of the day, it was the honest to God's truth.
Yeah, I appreciate that, because then I'm going to hold you to it, and then it's going to let me down, and you're just going to reflect poorly on you. And like, I've been in that situation too.
It's bad.
And like, and being open and honest about that kind of stuff. Like, I carry my moral conduct from that I learned from getting sober into my business practices.
For sure.
And I do my best. And there was this time where like I would do it too much to where it was, you know, I wasn't standing up for myself, and I wasn't letting other people, you know, I was letting other people get away with stuff that wasn't good, right? And it was affecting me financially. And then I realized, like, no, look, there's a way to bring your morality into business and protect yourself and stand up for yourself and say, look, I did the best I could for you. I conducted myself in an honest way. I gave you a great fucking deal, and I'm not going to let you sit here and steamroll me, man. Like, you're one of the bad people, you know? Don't let them walk all over you guys, you know? Stand up for yourself, but, you know, be honest and open and help.
Dude, that exactly what you just said, that is the real deal. And if you think that people on this side can't do it, you're just wrong. I mean, it's such an incredible opportunity to be able to approach each day, not only in a sober mindset, but in a mindset, you know, we know exactly what we're doing, and that's cool.
Yeah.
Dude,
I mean, it's cool.
I'll give you a good
point.
story, right? So this lady, I have, you know, 5 Airbnbs out here. One of them, we just got up and someone booked it. And there's this, you know, cancellation policy that if you cancel within a 7-day window, you don't get your money back.
For
right?
sure.
At 7 days, it's permanent, because I'm not going to be able to find someone to book it in the last minute, right? So like, it protects the owner of the property, and like, you know, otherwise everyone can just go book Airbnbs and cancel them and whatever. So there's this loophole though, right? So if you own an Airbnb or you're thinking about it, think about this loophole, that if you alter the reservation saying, hey, I want to stay an extra day, or, oh, I'm only going to be here for 2 instead of 3, will you alter it? An Airbnb system, in their like computer system, it treats that alteration as a new reservation, which gives the renter, right, a 24-hour window to cancel with no penalty.
Oh, shit.
So then they can screw you. So last night I got somebody checking in today, spent money for the cleaner to go there, spent money on stuff for the, you know, for it to be prepared for the guest to arrive. And, you know, she's like, hey, can I adjust my reservation by a day? And I'm aware of this scam. So I'm like, look, we won't adjust it for you, but I will refund you through the app. You can send money to the guest through the app, right? And so I was like, I'll refund you through the app. And then she was like, no, I want to cancel. I'm going to call Airbnb. She calls Airbnb up, right? Airbnb text messages me, and I'm like, look, until you guys fix the loophole, I'm not accepting any alterations within a 7-day window. And at the end of the day, the guest agreed to a cancellation policy when they booked the property, right? That's their responsibility. My responsibility to you is that I have it ready, I have it nice, and I spend money to do that.
Right.
Their responsibility is that they agree to the cancellation policy. And the fucking lady was nonstop. I want to cancel. I'm like, look, I gave you one of the 3 days refund. I already told you that. And I was like, dude, Airbnb is gonna, you know, cancel this reservation. And they didn't. They held up their end of the bargain. She got charged for the 2 days. We missed out on the 3-day booking, but at the end of the day, we didn't get as much as we should have. But by standing up for myself in business, and by being like open, like, hey, I'll give you one of the 3 days off, right? That's what you originally wanted, but I'm not going to cancel the full thing for you. I'm not just going to roll over. And, you know, being aware of that, like, you can't, like, I mean, as a business owner, it's your right to protect your business and protect who it feeds, your family, your employees, whomever it is, even if it's small, protect that bitch.
Dude, and that's the real deal. I mean, at the end of the day, even if it wouldn't have worked out, the cool thing is I've realized that there is shit in my life that is not going to work out all the time. I mean, literally every day. If you really think about it, there is something, big or small, that doesn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
My responsibility is to do my role to put me in the best position to have it work out. And that's what you did. So at the end of the day, if Airbnb would have blown it apart, Jeff did what he was supposed to, and that's cool.
Yeah, and did and vocalized my needs as a business owner.
For sure.
Right? And like, that's nothing to feel guilty about or ashamed of, right? So, I mean, either way, fucking I'm pumped that you like have had that experience, like, as a business owner.
It's good.
you know, and I'm sure like you serve this community super well. Like, I mean, that's another part about getting sober is like we've done damage to our community, whether that's crashing cars or utilizing police resources for phone calls or, you know, getting DUIs or whatever the fucking case
Or
is.
getting
right?
the whole DEA call to the Flying J. you
Yeah,
know?
that.
Whatever. We've used community resources and we owe for that, right? So we need to give back to our community as people in recovery. So if that means like, I believe that things like wealth, health, intelligence, financial success, like these are gifts that the universe or God
sure.
gives us, right? You know, if you're not a religious person, the universe gives us these gifts. And what I've found in my 12 years is that, hey, the more that I give it away, the more that I'm trusted with. Like I'm just kind of like the treasurer on planet Earth of the gifts that I've got. And the more that I spread them out to the community, the more that I'm trusted with later. And that I think is like huge. So if you are super smart at something or you're super successful financially or you're very good at building things, like it's your responsibility to share those gifts that you've been given with your community in order not just to get more, but it's that was a gift that was freely given to you, man.
I like that. And it's not having expectations of something. It's just doing the right thing, you know?
Dude, it's so, you know, a lot of people ask, is it easy to get sober? Of course it's not easy to get sober. You have to change everything you did. You have to change your daily modus operandi. You have to change the way you do everything. But I will tell you what it is easier than. It's easier than staying the way that you are.
Right.
And dealing with the pain and the suffering that you continue to deal with. Because when you change your life from, I need to do X to feel better, to I need to do good to feel better, dude, that's something you're in control of.
Yeah.
That's something that's real and tangible and that you can do every day in any situation. And that's the real deal, man.
That's a gangster.
I like that.
I love that. I love that. So let's end it with this, right? So at the end of the day, there's this stigma going out there in the world that I think there's a lot of attorneys that want to get sober or should be sober. There's a lot of doctors and pilots and people that are afraid professionally to get sober or to ask for help because they're worried that there'll be repercussions on that. I'm sure you experienced. Did you experience that?
I was terrified.
Right?
But I'm telling you, one of the best professional organizations I've ever dealt with is the Florida Lawyers Assistance Program, and a lot of other professions have their own programs for that. And like I just said, dude, I don't know if it's going to affect you negatively or not, but my experience was there was support, man. Whenever you reach out for help, whenever you speak, there's support. People want to help you. They don't want to end you. They just don't want to see you doing the same things that you're doing now.
So if you're a professional out there and you're considering like, hey, I need to get sober, I need to find a way to get this under control, or hey, my life's, really, really difficult right now and I'm in a tough space, like, do not be afraid of the community backlash. Protect your life. Like you don't need to, it will crash and burn eventually. And you don't need to go that far. Like
sure.
you can literally go and like you said, ask for help. It's there. And it would have saved you what, 5 years of pain?
Dude, it would have saved me at any point in my life. I mean, I did everything alcoholic. When I was a kid, dude, I would pound any candy there was. If there was a box of Nerds, I ate the whole thing.
Right. No control.
Whenever I started drinking, it was the same way. Whenever I played basketball and football in high school, it was 24 hours a day. It's always the addict mentality. So if I would have just realized that I had that to begin with, like this isn't something that you have to start at 35 or 25 or 20. If you think you need help, the worst thing you can find out is that you don't.
Yeah.
Go ask, go figure out what it's about.
And
that's a good point. That's a really good point.
Dude,
I love
that's
that.
it.
You got to find, and that's why we got to be loud about it. It's like, dude, we're here, man. We have a good fucking life. We're all here. We're self-supportive. We live by the beach.
No judgment.
No judgment.
That's like the biggest thing for me. Whenever I felt like I wasn't being judged, even though I probably, I was being judged for using, you know what I mean? Like instead of just being like, yeah, I need help, you know what I mean? Like I need help.
Well,
being vocal, and those are some of the most powerful words that you can use is like, I need help and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Well,
because then that opens the door for somebody to be like, look, this is how it's done.
For sure. And if you hate us, there are so many other people in recovery.
Yep.
Different people,
Yeah.
different personalities. So
I
find
hate me
somebody.
sometimes,
I
too.
hate me too.
I love you so much, Jeff.
I love both of you.
Honestly, there are
I
times,
love you too.
there are times where I'm like, you know, what, like, who do I hate the most? And it's like, oh, me.
That's right.
Like, fuck, dude.
Welcome to recovery.
Yeah. Welcome to being a human. You know?
Yeah, right.
I can't stand myself. Why? Why am I like this? Why does my brain work like this? And then, like, at the end of the day, like, you know, we're our own worst critic, man. You know, everyone
Yeah,
in here
of
wants
course.
each other to win and get it. And like,
That's
I
it.
hope you're winning. You know, if you're out there today, it may be the best day of your life, the worst or whatever, but I hope you're fucking winning, man.
Hell yeah.
Shitface sober, man.
Shitface sober, dude.
Shitface sober. Mike,
Thanks,
fucking
Mike.
pumped you came, dude.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
so thankful, guys.
All right.
Mad respect.
All right.
Hell
See
yeah.
you guys soon.
Yep.